Hi there, bless you. I just wanted to pop on real quick. It might be a short little video, but earlier today I was just reminded or thinking about just this experience I had or this little testimony. I thought it would be fun to share with you guys. So it was last year around my birthday. I was reading a book called 90 Minutes in Heaven, and it's based on a true story about a man like in the Houston area years back, but he had basically he was like a reverend on his way back from like another conference or something like that, and the way everything happened, he ended up getting like in a crazy car accident on this little tiny road, and another like pastor or reverend of some kind like came up behind him. There was other people on the road, of course, but there was like ambulances. There was this just horrible car accident, and this other like man of God got out of his car and just kind of went up there to try to pray for people or see what he could do to help. And they had like a tarp over this man's car and were like, oh, he's gone, you know, like he just died on impact. It was a really brutal car accident. And so the book's called 90 Minutes in Heaven. He ended up actually living, but it was because that man that pulled up on the scene, the Spirit of God was telling him, like, go pray for that man. And he's like, he's dead. Like, what am I supposed to do to pray for him, you know? And he just, like, went in there. It was so, like, tied up and, you know, like, I don't want to say mangled and stuff, but just he could barely get, like, his hand onto his shoulder through the back seat and just kind of reach in to touch. And he just prayed and just kept praying and just kept praying for an hour and a half, 90 minutes. He was you know, praying for that man, and he actually came to singing. It was so wild, but I don't want to ruin the whole book for you or anything. You know, it was a big long story. It's a really good book, but I was just remembering that last year I was reading it, and right around the time of my birthday, I was like so captivated by his story of heaven. But what he brought back with him was like this, you know, just this singing, this music from heaven that was like so many different songs put together, so many, where of course here on earth, if you played just the radio and have someone else singing something else, it's so, you know, like cacophonous and crazy. Like, it doesn't sound good to have all these things at the same time playing. And of course in heaven it's different, but there was just like all these different melodies, different types of music, you know, older hymns and stuff that you would recognize, and all kinds of things all at once in this like harmony. And I like just reading it in a book, it's like, wow, you can imagine, you know. But at the time when I was reading it, it was like I just wanted to ponder. I was like, oh God, like what would that sound like, you know? How could that be? That's just amazing. And one day, I mean, I consider it like a birthday gift from God, but it was just one day I was making coffee, and you know how you get like an earworm, like a little song in your head, or just like a little, you know, just one thing. But it was like one thing after another, and it was just flowing like all these different choruses and melodies, like, and it wasn't like some crazy orchestra, but it was just in my, you know, in my head, or while I was making coffee, I was like, whoa, like this is so pretty, and it made me want to cry. It was just so beautiful. And then my daughter comes up to me and she's like, hey, and then she's like, I just want to sing to you. And she started singing to me from her heart, like just a random, you know, like melody. I don't even remember what the words, but she was just like, you know, I love you and you're my mom, and, you know, like flowers are pretty, or like whatever she was singing. And I was just like, oh my God, you know, and I just felt this like overwhelmed, like feeling, this joy, but this like, wow. And then like sometimes with us, you know, we worship God, we sing, and our voices may not be that great, but to him, it's like, you know, we're his children, you know, like the way I looked at my daughter, she could be singing anything, and I was just so like, I just felt so much love, and it was like the love in my head, you know, and then the love from her, and then just all of it at once. It's like when God speaks to you or you have these moments with him, it was like all in one, you know. It wasn't just the song and just my daughter, but then I had this like a little, you know, revelation, or just like a little picture of this love. I mean, that's just a tiny, you know, just amount of the love that I felt watching my daughter sing to me, versus like, imagine what he feels when you sing to him from your heart. So, I mean, I just want to encourage you to worship God. There's so much so many times in scripture, that could be a whole nother lesson on how praise is a weapon, or worship, there's war in worship, because there's so many times where that's the strategy from heaven for Israel to win the battle, by going out and praising and marching and blowing their trumpets and all that stuff. There's so much where God's doing it all for you. He deserves all the praise, but it's amazing how it sets you free too. So I don't know. There's just so many times where things are crazy and you might feel like, oh, but he would love to hear it. Even if it's, a rough day, or if you want to sing about a good day or whatever, I just encourage you to sing to him. It doesn't have to be, perfect. He loves it when we sing to him. And I mean, sometimes I sing my prayers. Sometimes I just, just sing what I'm feeling. Or, sometimes I really crank it up and sing, with the radio, or some worship music. But it's just, I don't know. I just feel like we shouldn't lose that. It's so amazing, and it sets you free. Like, you will feel so much better after, even if you didn't feel like going into it, like, I don't know if I want to worship right now. Afterwards, you're gonna feel so much better. But I just kind of wanted to share that little story. I know this is kind of quick, but I bless you, and there'll be more. There's a lot of little moments like that, but I had been thinking about that earlier today, so I was like, well, I guess I'll let them know. And I hope you have an awesome day. I know there's a lot of stuff going on, but you are loved and here for a reason, and the best is yet to come. So I'll see you later. Bye-bye.